HBN, Helping Hearts Broadcasting Network.
Yes.
I choose to enjoy my marriage.
Yes.
It's good for my viewers to know that I wrote this title after I had decided I'll call it I chose to enjoy my marriage.
Okay.
I have lived with my husband for many, many years.
Yes.
And there were those times when I actually felt like marriage was becoming very difficult. But there came a time that God spoke to me and told me what I'm telling people now.
Yes.
That you go in as a producer, you don't go in as a consumer. And I looked at my husband and I looked at the ring he gave me. It has his name. It has the date he wedded me.
Yes.
He told all his friends that it is me.
Yes.
He told his parents and his family. He told the government. He told the church that he has chosen me.
Yes.
And from that day I got this revelation. This man who put this ring here cannot have done it if he was joking.
True.
He meant business.
Yes.
And so what I need to do is be there for him. Be there, make him happy, let his life be transformed, and let it be a testimony that this man got married and got married to a wife who loves him.
Yes.
And you know what?
Yes.
Love begets love.
Wow.
So I got it back.
Yes.
The book here has chapters that probably may look very controversial, but when they are explained inside there, they give us a lot of strength.
True.
There is one of them that I have called Divorce Before Marriage. How does that one sound?
I would like to know.
Divorce before marriage is a good marriage starts with divorce. Because when we are looking for a marital partner, I hear girls saying tall, dark, and handsome. You know, this person is only going to be handsome that time you are looking at him.
Yes.
When you go into marriage, you're not going to be eating that.
It is true.
So what you do is probably divorce that person you thought tall, dark, and handsome. It's just like that even on the inside. And now take the person God has said in the book of Genesis 2 verse 18, it is not good for this man to live alone.
Wow.
Because he needs a helper.
Yes.
A helper. Why? Because he's not self-sufficient.
Yes.
And therefore, you have divorced the one you thought was going to be 100%, and you have taken the one who can make a mistake.
Wow.
The one who can get angry. The one who can answer you rudely. The one who sometimes will have very bad moods.
Yes.
The one who will be annoyed with you. The one probably who will look at you and tell you, I didn't know you were like this.
Yeah.
So take that one.
So divorce.
You are divorcing the one you had in mind because that one is not real.
Yes.
There was one counselor in this country, I think Dr. Gatere. He used to call that person imago. It's something you have inside you that is not real.
Yes.
And so if you don't divorce, you get into marriage, and Edwin, this lady you married, and you thought umefika, unaanza kumwambia, I didn't know you are so stupid. So if you divorce, you start a good journey.
I love the way you put it. The one you had in your mind, let go of that person.
That's the divorce.
And now accept the real one you're dealing with. So many young people, this generation does not know that.
That's the reason I told you, the people I do premarital counseling, before they do their wedding, I tell them to do that. And since when you are starting your life, when you are thinking about getting married, nobody ever thinks they are going to mess their marriage.
Of course.
So if one is equipped, like I tell you to divorce, it is not difficult because you have good friends then, and you want to make this person live well. So you go into marriage knowing that there is another thing that could disrupt you and your partner. So you remove that image and you go in looking at this one
Yeah.
who can make a mistake,
Yeah.
and you help them correct their mistake or overcome their weakness.
Absolutely. And I thank you. You've mentioned premarital counseling. Many people nowadays think premarital counseling is a waste of time.
Let me tell you, Edwin, I get very, very humbled.
Yes.
Because I would not fear any problem of doubt if I say that I have talked to everybody in the world.
Yes.
God has given me that favor.
Yes.
Especially with that Kenya diaspora media. Because we talk to all the people in the world who can understand Kikuyu.
Yes.
We talk in Kikuyu.
Yes.
And guess what? I do premarital counseling to people who are not in Kenya.
Abroad.
Abroad. And when you're coming for premarital counseling, I do not give you less than 10 sessions.
Wow.
And to make you do those 10 sessions and not fail, you pay upfront.
Yes.
And I have a case that I would want to cite here.
Yes.
I counseled a young man who is a Kenyan,
Yes.
and he was marrying an American. I gave him 10 sessions.
Yeah.
And since he had paid upfront,
Yeah.
before he did his wedding, he told me to send my bank account to him because they think they paid me less than they ought to have paid.
So the value you give them was so much.
They wanted to add money. And I gave them my bank account, and they deposited more money voluntarily. I didn't know how much they were going to put.
Yes.
Number two, that young man, when the sister, who is also in America, wanted to get married, he introduced her to me
Yeah.
with her spouse, her fiancé.
Yes.
And they came for counseling, not physically. I was counseling them online.
Virtual.
And I did 10 sessions. They paid me upfront.
Yes.
And since the lady insisted they come and do the wedding in Kenya, when they came to Kenya, I gave them another 2 sessions.
Wow.
That is 12 sessions.
Yes.
Guess what? Right now, I have the brother to this man who married this sister.
Yeah.
And they are in America.
Wow.
The day before yesterday, I was talking to another marriage in London.
Yes.
So I want to say, premarital counseling is valuable to those people who have actually gone through it.
Yes.
And they introduce the people they love,
Yes.
and they tell them, don't think about the cake, don't think about the reception before you think about premarital
It is true.
counseling.
It is true.
And they have come, and it is so easy because you are counseling people who are not fighting.
Yes.
I told you all the people have counseled over 20 years because I graduated in the year 2002
Yes.
with my marriage and family therapy degree.
Yeah.
I have counseled people for over 20 years, and no premarital counseling has not working. Has not worked.
All those
All
marriages
of them.
are working.
I have counseled marriages.
Yes.
And I want to tell you, Edwin, I have counseled them. They have salvaged their marriage. I have counseled them. Some are still struggling. I have counseled them. Some have divorced. The ones who are already married. And I find like the reason why it doesn't work with people who are married is because when you're coming with your wife, you pretend that you're coming for counseling,
Yes.
but at the back of your mind, you have brought your partner to be fixed. And you know your partner also has the same idea.
Yes.
She wants you to be fixed. Because we feel like if it was not for me, this marriage would not have been there. This person is so bad. He needs to be fixed.
Yes.
So they come with that kind of attitude.
Yeah.
But the people who come, both partners are ready for counseling. They actually get their marriage back and they enjoy it.
Their marriage.
So I did not make it very clear that I wanted to call this book, I chose to enjoy my marriage. Because from the time, the description of the ring and how I felt about the person who gave me the ring, it actually dawned to me that I needed to make my marriage work.
Yes.
And so if I'm working on it, whether my partner is working on it or not, something will have to change.
I love that.
But I thought if I call it I chose to enjoy my marriage, it will be mine alone. So I decided we all get together and say, I choose to enjoy my marriage. Because there are only 3 options as far as I'm concerned in marriage. You choose to enjoy your marriage. If you don't choose to enjoy, you choose to endure. But there are people who choose to call it quits.
Whoa, that is a mouthful. You either choose to enjoy, or you choose to endure, or you call it quits. Those are the only 3 options. So to our audience who are listening to us, most of them, majority of them, if not all of them, they are choosing to enjoy your marriage, and that's why they are tuning in.
The ones who are tuned in today, they will get into the group of the people who have heard me talk and have taken me positively, and it has worked for them.
Amazing.
It has worked.
And I love the title, because the title is I Choose. So it is a decision. It's a decision
you are going to make. The person who buys this book has actually decided, I am choosing to enjoy my marriage.
I love that.
And it's a nice book. It's very small.
It's a fantastic book.
And
you know what I love about it, Mrs. Tabitha? It's easy to read.
It's very easy.
It doesn't have a lot of jargons, you know.
No.
It's very practical.
Listen to me, Edwin. When I was writing this book, I had a lot of material. I had a lot of jargons. Because having studied my marriage and family therapy in America, of course there was a lot of English. There are a lot of books written in very big jargons in the psychology field. But when I started writing this book, I got a good editor who also worked as my publisher. And he's the one who told me, our people don't have a culture of reading. So if you write a big book, they might buy it and put it in the
on the shelf.
But if you write a small book, precise, it has all the information, not too much detail. These people are going to read through the book. And I guess what, Edwin? There is one man who told me he has read this book 5 times.
Over and over.
Over and over. Another doctor in Nairobi Hospital told me, I have read it 3 times, I'm going for the 4th time. It's easy to read. This publisher was actually, the editor was bringing in jargons in counseling. And I would tell him, that person who can understand this jargon, can understand very simple English. But the person down there might not be able to understand that jargon. So let's make it simple. Those high up there with grammar, they will read it. Those down there will not have to look for a dictionary when they are reading the book.
And because I've read it, Mrs. Tabitha Gikanga, I bought my copy from you. What I love is the way you've broken down the chapters. The chapters speak to us. Like you can be able to read this book and trace where your marriage is in a chapter. I love the practicality.
I didn't know that.
See, I told you I did a show,
you did.
A summary of this book.
You did.
And it is an amazing book.
Thank you.
And moving on, family is something that is very dear to your heart. Very, very dear. And your marriage is a testimony to that. What can you tell us as younger generation, why should we preserve our marriages and our homes? Why should we work towards building healthy marriages so that we may have strong families? What's the importance of having a strong family?
Edwin, if you go to any part in the world, if you are speaking to a person who can understand the language you are speaking, there is nobody you are going to tell, this is my wife, and that person asks you, what is a wife?
True.
Marriage is an institution for the human race.
Yes.
And much more God is the originator for marriage. And so, the reason why God started this institution is because he knew it was going to be the pillar of all the other relationships.
Yes.
There is no other important relationship than marital relationship.
Absolutely.
Your marriage is the one that actually gives guidance to all your other relationships. When you are well married, when you are living well with your wife, the children you get from that marriage, you'll be able to love them.
True.
If you are not living well with your wife, you'll actually be venting out on the children.
Yes.
Even the cats in the house and the dogs.
Yes.
If you're not doing well with your wife and your family, are you going to do well in church?
No.
No, you can't. When you're not doing well in your marriage and your family and your church, are you going to do well in the community?
No, you're not.
No. I can go on, and you actually can see the reality now.
Yes.
I think I have shown you the way now.
Yes.
It is important. Put all your energy on your marriage, and the rest of the relationships will be shaped.
I agree with you 100%.
And so do not actually look at other things. I thank God so much because God gave me a wonderful husband. A wonderful husband. And at the beginning, I was being misled by my little head that this man is not the way I thought he was going to be.
Yeah.
But it's just because I had not divorced the other one.
In your mind?
My husband, all these years we have been together, he has always had time for me and then for the children. And guess what? We love each other. We love our children. Our children love us, and they love one another.
Wow.
So what I'm trying to preach,
yes,
I have seen it work in my marriage.
Yes.
I mean, my family.
Yes.
You love your children. You love your wife. You'll be able to love your children. Your children will be able to love you back. And your children will be able to love one another.
Absolutely.
So it is important.
So couples, what I hear you saying is couples should have quality time.
Well. This book has a chapter that talks about the ingredients that make a good marriage.
Yes.
The ingredient word is mine.
Yeah.
Is my own paraphrase.
Yes.
Because I compare that with what we do in the kitchen. You have hoho, you have nyanya, you have onions, you have dania, and so you make a good meal.
Yes.
Yeah? And the ingredients I have put here, it is as a result of a book that was researched for by a couple who are marriage therapists. They teach at Birmingham University in Alabama.
Yeah.
They are the ones who gave me the book. It was new.
Yes.
They had written, and their study had taken 25 years.
Yes.
They were trying to see what can make a marriage, what makes marriages work.
Yes.
They studied for over 25 years. They studied people in 24 countries in the world. They looked at marital thesis for PhD and master's degree, 51 of them.
Wow.
And they studied 14,000 couples.
Wow.
And they came out with 6 ingredients. Those are the ingredients that I talk about.
In this book.
In the ingredients, there is what you have talked about.
Quality time.
Quality time. Quality time. Quality time is time that you have with your partner. Each one of you is actually pleading and praying inside them, asking God, when shall I have another time like this?
Yes.
So if you have quality time with your partner, that actually goes very far.
Yeah.
The other one is communication.
Yes.
Communication in my first degree, I had done communication as a minor item. And we did electronic media, we did the print media. And their definition for communication is very, very complicated.
Yes.
But the one for psychology and the one for family says you try to understand your partner as you also help your partner to understand you.
Yes.
That is what communication is about. And then it comes with the listening. It comes with the clarifying. It comes with feedback.
Yes.
And when you are able to communicate and you have quality time, and then you have the ability to deal with the crisis, like one person might be sacked from a job.
Yeah.
You might go down financially.
Yes.
You might get sickness at home.
Yes.
All these are crises, and many others.
Yeah.
Even raising children is not easy. It's a crisis.
Yes.
If the two of you are able to deal with the crisis, then you are going the right direction.
Yes.
So the ingredients are here.
Yeah.
You have just touched on the quality time.
Yes.
Quality time is very important.
It is very key.
I've not talked about all of them.
Of course.
I can talk about them. They are at my fingertips.
Yeah.
But it's the whole book.
You cannot exhaust them.
No, you can't exhaust.
And the reason why I think it's important to emphasize on quality time is because we live in a very fast-paced society. Back in the day, the man was the breadwinner. Nowadays, both the husband and wife are breadwinners. So they leave home at 6, they come back at 8. So sometimes it's hard for couples to find that time to spend time together.
I disagree with you, Edwin, for the first time.
Okay.
Because my husband,
Yes.
allow me to say my husband has worked for the very busy institutions, and particularly he worked for the World Bank for 20 years. And that's a very, very, very busy place.
It's a demanding job.
Very demanding.
Yes.
And my husband happened to be a workaholic.
Yeah.
But the man got time for us.
Irrespective of the hours he had to work.
You just purpose to get time for your family. My husband is an example, and nobody can move me from there. He had time for us.
Yes.
He had time for us. He had time for his employer.
He had time for you as his wife,
and the children.
his children, and also his work.
Yes.
So you have to plan yourself.
Yes, yes. You prioritize.
We can no longer make the excuse and say, oh, we are too busy, I come home tired. We can no longer say that. Somebody
like that who is working for financial institutions and things like that, they also think about investment.
Yeah.
And so they want to pass by the places where other men are meeting so that they can talk about investing and, mashamba, whatever. But my husband was prioritizing his family.
Yes.
And we are happy. We are happy. We love that man.
You never felt neglected? You never felt you took second place to his work?
No. Yeah. I have enjoyed my marriage.
Yes.
I have enjoyed my marriage.
So it takes two of you to make a marriage work. It cannot just be one person. It takes both of you to make
it work. I would probably tell you my experience in counseling.
Yes.
There is another couple, very, very highly placed in the society.
Yes.
The lady came to me and told me she wanted to divorce her husband.
Okay. They have been married for how long?
16 years.
After 16 years of marriage, they're ready for divorce. I told her, you want
to throw the 16 years away and start all over?
Yeah.
She told me, I feel insecure in this marriage.
Yeah.
And I told her, I'm hearing you. But the question I'm asking myself is, why did you come to the counselor if you have decided to divorce your husband? Yeah. She told me, I wanted to hear the opinion of a counselor.
First, before she divorces. Yes.
I told her the opinion of a counselor is that you are entitled to your decision. If you have chosen to divorce your husband, that's okay. But that does not mean you cannot be my client.
Yes.
Even if you are divorcing,
yes,
you still need to be my client.
Yes.
Because even the divorced people need to live quality life.
Absolutely.
And counseling is all about making you live quality life.
Yes.
So, if you want to divorce your husband, you continue to be my client. If you want to salvage your marriage, it is possible.
Yes.
You are hearing it from the counselor. So, go home, and the next session we book, you come and tell me which one you want to work with.
Yes.
Do you want to work on salvaging your marriage? Do you want to work on divorcing your husband? So she went. And the next time she came, I asked her, did you work on my assignment? She told me, I am sitting on the fence.
I'm not yet decided.
But you know what? A counselor listens even to what is not being said.
True.
Somebody might actually think that was very desperate. But according to me, we have moved a step.
Yes.
Because the other time, she was decided to divorce.
I hear you.
This time, she's sitting on the fence.
The fence.
She can fall on salvaging, she can fall on divorce. So we have moved from divorce, we are nearing salvaging. And the reason I have brought that case up is because you asked me whether it would work if one person is not ready to work. I want to tell you, I salvaged that marriage. We salvaged because you don't tell the client what to do.
Yes.
You actually help them tap their resources.
True.
And that lady came back and told me, my marriage is so good, even other people are asking my husband. In fact, the husband was a professor.
Wow.
They are asking my husband what it takes to have a good marriage like ours. And I asked her, and since I have never seen your husband, and you came here telling me that you want to divorce, what happened? She told me, Mrs. Gikanga, you told me something and I know you're not remembering. You told me at the beginning of this process that I cannot change another person. I can only change myself. And changing myself can go very far.
Yes.
So to answer your question, Edwin, one person can help the marriage.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you don't have to wait for the other person.
So you choose to change.
I chose to enjoy my marriage.
And you know, many couples, Mrs. Tabitha Mrs. Tabitha Gikanga is, many couples, as you said very well, when you come to a marriage counseling, in me, I'm thinking she's the problem, I want her fixed. But now what you're telling us is when I take the responsibility, I'm coming to change. I take the initiative, that can go a long way to salvaging a marriage.
Actually, when I counsel, or even when I go for seminars,
yes,
particularly couples seminars, I tell people, do not sit there wishing your partner was here. It is not about your partner. It's about you.
Yeah.
And if you point the searchlight into yourself, you'll actually go home with an answer.
I love that. I love your wisdom.
Thank God.
I love your wisdom.
Thank God. Nobody can do good without the help of God.
And Mrs. Gikanga, this is very important. I ask you, what about couples who husband or the wife have strayed from the marriage and involved themselves in an extramarital affair? How do you deal with that?
You don't know the answer to that?
I want to hear it from you, Mrs. Gikanga.
You don't know the answer? Billy Graham, the most renowned preacher in the world,
yes,
gave me this one.
Yeah.
He said a marriage is an institution of two people who are good at forgiving.
Yes.
You know, forgiving is not a joke.
It is not.
Somebody has offended you.
Yes.
It is so evident. And one is waiting to see what you're going to do because of what they have done to you. But instead of making that person suffer the consequences, you decide to get them out of the offense and tell them, I've forgiven you.
Yeah.
And forgiving is getting the person out of the offense and giving him a new life,
yes,
letting him have a new image. Because if you don't forgive, that person might actually feel, after all, I don't need to put any effort.
Yes.
After all, if somebody has already had an extramarital relationship, they don't have an image to protect. You would only have to create an image for that person.
True.
You forgive that person. And people ask me how many times, and I tell them every day. There are people who would say every Sunday. We tell God, forgive me the way I forgive.
Yes.
Those who
wrong against me.
Who wrong me.
Yes.
And this is a standard that you set. God will forgive you the way you forgive.
Yes.
So if you forgive this person, you can be sure your relationship with God is good.
True.
And you have created an image for this person.
True.
You have given this person a chance to do better.
True.
And then you have protected their image.
Yes.
From the rest of the world.
It is true.
Who has never gone wrong?
All of us have gone
wrong. We have gone wrong many, many, many times. And of course, this sin is seen to be very big.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, forgiving, you just wipe it out of your mind. Some people tell me, yeah, I can forgive, but I can't forget. I tell them there is motivated forgetting. There is motivated forgetting. I can explain that until the cows come back.
Yes.
You motivate yourself.
So there is hope for couples who their partners have strayed.
Yes.
And maybe they feel so hurt, so wounded. They feel have been betrayed. And you give us a very good, clear biblical answer that forgiveness is the pathway to healing. You have to be willing to forgive.
You heal, you get out of the preoccupation.
Yeah.
You better your relationship with God. You feel free, you can go before God. You have your sins, you can ask for forgiveness from God. And guess what? You are not the only person who forgives. You are also forgiven at times.
True.
And so don't feel like you are doing a big thing to forgive this person.
Absolutely.
I want to tell you, Edwin, in my counseling career, I have counseled people who have had a extramarital relationship. Some of them very, very outright. There's a man who came to my office and he told me, I'm divorcing my wife. I've even engaged a lawyer. I want to divorce her. I asked him why. She has had sex with my friend. I asked him, are you sure? He said, yes, I have no spell of doubt. I'm going to divorce her. And I asked him, then, what do you want me to do? I wanted you to help me in this process. I told him, it's good you came, because once you divorce, you will need to live your life. And I'm here to talk to everybody who feels like they want to live their life well. I don't make any judgment. I don't ask you why you did that. So, can I probably take you through some of the things you'll actually find in a divorced life? He agreed. And I went with him through 4 sessions of talking about divorce. Because divorce is not just walking away. It comes with a lot. There is what we call community divorce. There is what we call psychic divorce. There is what we call co-parenting. There is what we call economic divorce. All those things are there. Many, many things. And so I took him through that. And I couldn't actually believe my ears when this man on the 4th session told me, I'm considering forgiving my wife.
Wow.
You're considering forgiving your wife? Yes. Okay. Would it be okay for me to help you on what forgiveness carries? He said yes. He paid for another process of 3 sessions. So, divorce 1, 4 sessions, this one, 3 sessions. How many sessions? 7. On the last one, he told me, I'm ready to forgive my wife.
Wow.
On the 8th one, you know he's paying for all these sessions.
Yes.
On the 8th one, he came with his wife. And he told his wife, can you tell Mrs. Gikanga what you did to me? And the lady talked like a radio with new batteries.
I can imagine.
Exposing herself,
yes.
what she did.
Yes.
Telling her husband, even the phone I told you I was bought by my dad, I was bought by this man. And the man looked at her and told her, guess what? I want to forgive you.
Wow.
I want to forgive you. And several years down the line, I actually found these people were still together.
Married.
They had forgiven each other. They were working together. They had even brought a relative to me for counseling.
That is an amazing story.
So, even if it is extramarital affair,
yeah.
If you don't forgive, it will torture you for the rest of your life.
True.
If you forgive, it will actually come out of your mind. You're not preoccupied with it anymore. Because you have forgiven. You feel good. You are able to forgive somebody who has offended you.
True.
And I compare this with even these accidents that we have on the road. Another time I was hit by another lady at a roundabout. I was in the roundabout. And so she felt guilt instantly. And she told me, tell me how much money you want me to give you to repair your car. I told her, why don't you let me take the car to the mechanic?
Yeah.
And then the mechanic can give us the assessment so that we don't go wrong. She told me, no. Whatever you quote, I'm going to give you. This prayer that I say every day,
yes.
Forgive me the way I forgive others, came to me. And I told her, do you know, I want to forgive you.
Wow. and the damage was extensive.
No, it was. So you are hearing this lady is telling me, whatever you quote,
I'll give it to you.
I'll give it to you, because she didn't want the police to come there.
True.
And just, I think the Spirit talked to me.
True.
And I just felt like, forgive her, so that you can also be forgiven.
Amen.
I forgive her. I felt so good. And I talk about it up to today. It is many years ago.
True.
Why? Because forgiving is very fulfilling.
It is very true.
Forgive and let that person be restored. You know, like the way God forgave us and restored us and drew us close to Him. And we look like we have never sinned.
True.
And some of us were just like the dustbin.
True.
This is the way you should actually do to your partner.
I agree with you 100%. Can I have that book? Now, what I love about you, Mrs. Tabitha Gikanga, not only are you wise, you are very godly. You have a very good heart, a sweet spirit, and I'm so glad that you accepted to come to our show today. And I hope and I pray this is not the last time we'll have you, Mrs. Gikanga. Unfortunately, time does not allow us to go on. But again, I want to express my gratitude for coming. To our viewers, listen, you need to buy this book. This is an amazing manual when it comes to marriage and relationship. I have a copy. And Mrs. Gikanga, where can they find this book?
I had put this book with Textbook Center.
Okay.
I don't know whether they have finished the copies I had given them, because they asked for more when they have exhausted them.
Yes.
The ones I've given them.
Yeah.
But
do you have more copies yourself?
Right now I have quite a lot.
Maybe you can share your contacts if you don't mind, and they can.
My contact is 0721 208
yes
660. 0721.
Yeah.
I go slow because I have listened to numbers being given on the media.
Yes, it's true, they rush.
0721
yeah
208 660.
Awesome. Listen, our viewers, this is an amazing book. It's an amazing manual. Listen to some of the topics she addresses. Why do we marry? The empty basket, rules of the marriage game, ingredients of a strong marriage, common causes of problems in marriage, family of origin. I mean, this is a manual for a healthy marriage. And again, I want to thank you for joining us for our show this morning. Listen, Mrs. Gikanga, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for gracing our studios.
Thank you.
And I'm sure, God willing, in the near future, I'll invite you. We can't exhaust everything you have to share. But thank you so much for coming. But from Deep Kestai Online Parish, we want to say we love you. We are praying for you. Up next is the Vibes Gospel Show with DJ Zenon, with the whole crew. So don't go from where you are. Make sure you share the link with your friends, because we are coming next to an amazing show. But thank you for joining us. And from Deep Kestai Online Parish,
teaching,
God bless
training,
you, and
coaching,